What's up and welcome to another kind of funny live reaction for E3 2021. We are reacting to the Capcom Showcase. First ever Capcom Showcase at E3. Pretty exciting stuff. I'm Tim Gettys, joined by Andy Cortez, Blessing, Greg Miller, Snowbike Mike, and Nick Scarpino's here, not on cam, but his beautiful voice is here. So this should be a fun thing. Let's get right into it.
Kevin, I'm here.
Good. You sound great. Nothing wrong
Kevin,
with
I'm
the way
not
you
a
sound.
robot. Anybody, I'm not a robot, everybody.
It's good.
Hi, Greg.
It really makes
Sorry,
me
I couldn't
feel
talk
like
to you
you might be a
earlier. I
robot.
was trying to get a game going.
Nick, it's Capcom presentation, so you shut your yap and you sit there.
Little new Capcom logo
Welcome
treatment.
To the
That's kind of
Capcom
cool.
E3 Showcase. I'm your host.
Oh, that's a Claire Redfield jacket if I ever saw one.
Walk through the latest releases,
Seltzer
news,
knows, man.
and updates from Capcom. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village
mirror
team,
just looked
share
like
some news
it's
from
part
the
of
world
that
of
spaceship
Monster Hunter,
from that
and
game.
get
I love
the
that camera
latest
cut, by
on
the way.
Ace
It does.
Attorney.
Thank
Then
you.
we'll
Just
wrap
the
up
quick
with some
little camera
updates
cut
from
over
our
to the
friends
right.
at Capcom
Yeah,
Fighters.
I'm a big fan of like
So
the
what are we
turn
waiting
camera
for?
cut keeps talking.
Let's get started. Our first stop today, Resident
Also, she
Evil
has
Village.
great
The
presentation.
Resident Evil
go to the
franchise
village, baby.
continues to pioneer
She's
the
doing the cool
latest
thing where
and
she does, like,
greatest
she
in
connects the
survival
hands.
horror.
Yeah,
The team
yeah.
has been
then
blown
pulls the
away
hands
by the
apart.
response.
Rachel's a
to
pro.
Resident Evil
If you guys
Village,
remember when I went
which
to
launched
General
last
Mills,
month.
that's right,
It brought the
General
world another
Mills.
Oh my
chapter
She was
God,
there.
I
in
She was
forgot
there.
that
She was
long
part of the
story as
presentation.
the franchise celebrates its 25th
forgot that
anniversary
happened,
this
Greg.
year.
Well, never
I'm
forget
honored
Battle
to be
Creek,
able to
Michigan,
introduce
boy.
Tsuyoshi Kanda,
Game-
producer on
no.
Resident Evil Village.
Greg, what's the
with a
game I'm
special
thinking
message
about?
for the fans.
Though the snake game you like a lot.
What? No, it's not.
Snake Pass.
I thought you knew what I was talking about.
No, I don't, but I'm here for you, Kevin. Whatever you say, you jump out the plane, I'll grab you. I'll
Andy,
be your
what's the-
parachute.
what's the
And then
big game that
if I'm
just
not a
came out? There's
parachute,
3
at
of
the
them?
last second, I'll roll to the side, I'll smash in the ground, I'll save your life.
Andy, there's 3 of them combined came out recently, like a
Mass
month
Effect?
ago. Mass Effect. She's got that red stripe on there, like a
Yeah.
ship.
Oh, you were talking about the thing you said like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, it looks like the Normandy. She's got the color scheme of the
Thank
Normandy. Yeah.
you. God.
N7, baby. Kevin, say it with me. N7, baby.
N7, baby.
Yeah, that's my big Kev dog. Roll over and get some
Hi,
belly
everyone.
pets from Paula.
My name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village.
I love
I
it.
wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror.
I'm
As a
not.
reminder, everyone who purchases Resident Evil Village will gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil RE-verse, where players
y'all playing
go head-to-head
RE-verse?
with their
Probably
favorite
not.
Resident Evil
No.
Probably
heroes
not.
and bioweapons. I'm now happy to announce that Resident Evil RE-verse will go live next month across all supported platforms. So head into the fray to
God.
celebrate the Resident Evil 25th anniversary.
Bye now.
Oh, nice.
By popular demand.
All right. I was kind of hoping
Thank you,
to see it
Kanda-san,
here.
for that wonderful
Yeah,
update.
I thought that was
Next
already
up,
expected.
some long-awaited news from the world of Monster Hunter. Whether it's adventuring alongside monsters
Boo.
or battling them with friends, we've got
You're
something
booing
for
Monster
you.
Hunter?
First,
No,
let's
booing
dive
what they
into the
just did for
brand new story-based
Village.
RPG
No, he
entry to the
he hates
series.
Monster Hunter.
Monster
Chad, I'm
Hunter
not
Stories
saying you
2,
should start a chant
Wings of
against
Ruin.
him. But he's booing Monster Hunter. Are you gonna stand for this, Chad? Nick, are you gonna stand for this?
I've been sitting down all day, Greg. Greg, is it weird to be back in a real production environment? Did you
No,
remember
it's
what it was
great.
like?
I remember what it was like when
This
you were
was his
professional.
fate.
You have an IFB in your ear. That's so cool.
Dude. I got a catheter in my
It may
penis.
have been strong and skilled,
Did they give you the
but
boot
against the
catheter?
awesome power of
Jesus
nature,
Christ.
he
Suck it
was
out the
merely
one
a
and
man.
all right,
Let us know when we're going
Never
live. I wouldn't
stood
want
a
to say with
chance.
any of this with me and Nick. in
Yeah, that'd be
public.
bad.
All
That'd be
around,
very
things just kept
unprofessional.
getting
People saying
worse.
that same with Tim in the chat. That's great.
But I heard that Guardian Ratha had survived and returned to Hekola Island.
Okay, what's this
I
about?
went there to see Red's old monster.
That's
It's
pretty-
Monster Hunter, but it's got like more of a story. The
That's
big
literally
complaint, I
one
guess,
of
so
them
far is there hasn't been a lot of
cartoons.
gameplay.
Then, of
Oh,
course,
you love those cartoons.
that's when I met you.
Remember when we were all in with Monster Hunter?
You were given
Yeah,
Red's
those were the
days.
Future
We could-
Stone, and now a
We could go with
Rathalos.
Xavier Woods that one time
This
too.
is destiny.
Yeah.
You say the word, buddy. You and me get in her eyes.
This is the legendary
Nah, we
monster,
won't.
Raising
Okay.
Ratha, the
I
monster
think.
with the
What
wings
about
of ruin.
a Switch Pro
It's said that a beat
revival
of its wings
of
can bring
kind of
about
funny
waves
being
of
into Monster
destruction.
Hunter?
Many people believe
Stew on that for a second.
there's
Don't
connection
say anything.
between
Just
the
stew on it for a
strange
second.
happenings
Just saying,
and
it
the
depends on
whims
how many
of
Switch
ruin.
Pros we can get. That's all.
The pits are appearing everywhere, and they're
We're not gonna
emitting
get
a
any.
strange light.
I just mean our hands on, like, if we can,
Oh, sure, yeah.
yeah, like, buy it ourselves.
Here's some combat. Here we go.
And we'll get one or two.
Oh my god,
This
they
whole
drifted him.
idea of forming kinship with monsters. How do you control them?
It's not about control. Monsters help riders of their own will. And the bonds between monsters and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino.
Pretty sure you should beat him into submission, right?
Yeah. It's like that Pokemon game you're all talking about.
What kind of power does Ratha
You beat
really
the
have?
fuck out of them, then you taunt them, and they're just there laying
You're
super close to death.
Yeah, they're just like they're
Stockholm
sitting there
syndrome.
terrified.
I have her question.
I have a family, please.
If there's
Please, let me
worry
live.
or doubt in your voice, Ratha will become anxious too. He needs to know that you
Also,
will
aren't
protect
you
him
wearing
no
their
matter
parts?
what. I can
Whoa.
You
sense
know,
the flames
you're
of
talking
his
about a very
life force
specific
weakening.
version of Monster Hunter, Kevin.
burden of
Clearly,
such
there's
great
different things
power
afoot here. You know what I mean?
It's too much for his body
If I,
to
if I
bear.
killed Greg, I would've
Calico
won,
looks
guys.
fucking bizarre.
I was gonna say the same thing. It looks like it's from a different game.
Yeah.
It looks like
Different
a
art style.
knockoff
This is a different
Meowth.
game.
Can you hear it?
Yokai
I mean,
Watch.
the Palico specifically looks.
He doesn't look like he belongs in this
Monsters,
game.
monsters.
Okay, fair.
Look at that fucker.
Look
I see it. I see it. I see it. I see
It
it.
looks like a Gen 7
They
Pokemon
have
or
the
something.
power of kinship.
Yeah.
They're friends. They're monsties. Humans carry the strength
They're
of every
The Monsties.
Get out of here.
When do you think the first time I'll think I made that up and call Kevin a Monstie? When do you think that'll happen? 1 week, 1
I always
month?
gotta
I
get
give
the new
you
nicknames. Just pick one.
25 minutes till the next podcast we record.
Yeah.
To call
I'm
him
gonna
a
start calling
Monstie?
Portillo a monster.
Greg, what part of me would you wear if you killed me in battle?
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, I feel like I would use your hair for some kind of wallet.
Oh, that'd be cool. That's a Mexican wallet right there.
Oh, I've heard about this. Wow. The chat multimedia man says Nick's.
Have they always been called Monsties?
No.
I've never
I
heard
don't
that
think
term
so.
ever.
That's
in
a
my
I've
new
never
thing.
heard the term Monstie
Pretty
before.
sure that girl just
Well,
coined it right there.
again, this is the Monster
Oh,
Hunter
this is still
Stories
stories.
universe.
But why don't they call it Monstie Hunter then?
Do you think, is this
That'd be
connected
better.
to
That would sell
the
better.
movie?
No.
No,
Okay, all right.
no, Kevin.
All right, well, I'm.
Look at this.
fucking-
No, you receive this by linking your save data.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from Monster Hunter Rise will be joining Monster Hunter Stories 2 as one of the new Monsties in the first free title update coming soon after the game's release.
Stop trying to make Monsties
You can get
a
an
thing.
early peek at the game with the
making it a
Monster
thing.
Thing, it's
Hunter
happened.
Stories 2
It already
Wings of
happened,
Ruin
Tim.
trial version
This term
starting on
sweeping
June
the nation
25th.
now.
Which also carries your
Everybody
progress
tweet
over to the full
hashtag
game release
Monsties.
just a few weeks later
Greg,
on
when you go
July
back
9th.
out there, I want you for me
That's
to
not
work
the
Monsties
only way to
into a
join the hunt.
conversation.
Oh my God.
Millions of
You
made
better
Monster
react
Hunter
to that one
Rise a
live, Tim,
huge
'cause I'm
success
shoving it
earlier
down
this
your
year.
throat.
And we have even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the Rise. Let's find out more.
Remember when they hired me to host this, then we just turned it into a kind of funny in-joke?
Let's go.
Isn't that always what we do?
This is for my fellow hunters.
This is for my fellow monsters.
Okay. Did you guys just see that date that they just showed? Coming June/July.
Moon's blessing and mercy.
Ish, you know.
Ready?
Like,
It's the same month, really.
God.
Feeling. What will it be?
I was.
I think it
one-
was-
I think they're talking
It
about
was-
the Monster Hunter rollout of content.
I mean, it was one logo.
It was in a weird order. They should have done the logos first, then the dates. Because that was confusing.
Friday-ish. You know, I'm not. I have to pick up my dad from the airport that day, so we'll see when it gets released.
Muddy grass.
Felt like that though.
An icy blade so bright. Hey, wow.
Their legs. Shadow shade.
Look at those fucking cool glasses.
Oh, paid downloadable content, my favorite.
What the fuck? It was a penguin parrot. I'm gonna play this game. Monsties. I'm in, guys.
I've bought into the Monsty hype. Monsty Hunty Reese.
There you go, June and July roadmap.
There has never been a better time to be a Monster Hunter fan. With all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer. We can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom has in store for us this July. Fans of Phoenix Wright will have new chapters to explore with the release of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. North American and European future attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and
Very
the
Sonic
Great
the
Ace
Hedgehog
Attorney
kind
2
of motion
Resolve,
graphics
which were
package.
previously only available in Japan.
With the fonts.
You'll travel back
You
in
think we did
time to the
crossover?
late 19th century
Think so.
Japan and London.
Sonic versus
Play as
Capcom.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo, Phoenix Wright's
All of them
ancestor,
against him.
in this action-packed prequel.
Nobody else from
Now let's hear
Sonic.
more about the story.
This is Sonic the Hedgehog.
So then, let us unravel this mystery. Welcome to the center of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This country is incredible.
Hey, Governor, welcome to London, ain't you?
I knew it.
Have to.
Yeah, I do. By the way,
Sorry,
Greg,
sometimes I like to break out my Chivalry 2 voice acting work. No
I was
big
gonna say,
deal.
Greg, that clip from Chivalry
New
2.
Laura Bailey.
Curious murder.
Was that legitimately from Chivalry 2? That voice clip?
Yeah.
Yes, that is legitimately from Chivalry 2.
We must
I'm sorry, we
solve
can
this
That's the funniest
refer to
thing
you
of all
now as the
Let us
new
engage in
Bailey
the art of
introducing
deduction.
the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
The spiritual successor to Laura Bailey.
Yes, please.
It would seem the truth is now tantalizingly
I
close.
mean, Laura and Troy
that?
have moved on to hosting
The
stuff that you're
defense
supposed to host. So
demands
now I
its
feel
right
like
to a
quid pro quo.
cross-examination.
You take
I gotta
that
come
job.
back for them, yeah.
It's true. It's not a blight double. There you go.
Objection! Your testimony completely contradicts the facts.
Objection! My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage!
That dude is definitely fire, right?
Wow,
I
whoa.
think
Look
that's
how you
about-
Wow, they're tipping the scales.
Scales are just as burn bright in this
You're
Tuesday.
the best lawyer in the world.
In my headcanon, that was the thing happening
So
on
we
Tuesday. I
have
apologize.
10
I really
new
didn't mean to throw you off.
cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney.
Escapades.
Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first look
know it.
at 2 gameplay features new to the franchise in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Dance of Deduction
Nick, have you seen my
and
Ghostbusters
Summation
Switch case?
Examination.
That's really cool.
Hello, I'm John.
Why did you start that off by saying, you know what?
Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Nick, you
So
seen
this
this?
is the
I said
capital
Nick.
of Great Britain.
I said Nick.
Oh, I thought you said, you know what? Check this out, Nick. Like just out of
Our
nowhere.
team is thrilled to present 2 new gameplay features.
We're just talking about
Dance
Switch, baby.
and Summation Examination, coming to the Ace Attorney series.
He's using a bloody double. He's not using a bloody double.
I learned a lot about
While
deduction
investigating
from
to
the
prove
Sherlock
your client's
show.
innocence, players will come across
It's a really cool idea.
conspicuous situations
Really cool concept.
that require
Deduction.
further examination. With the help of Ryunosuke's legal
And now
aid,
you'll be able to
Sasaki,
dance
and the
and,
brilliance of
and
deduction,
deduction
from
now
Detective
with
Herlock.
dance deduction.
Benedict Cumberbatch did this thing in that show. I miss it.
What? Like that show was like 30%
Herlock will
great and
proceed to
70%
present his
real bad
logic and
sometimes.
reasoning spectacular. A grandiose
Look back at old clip. Look back
70%
at
of
old
that show was
clips.
great.
There's like a lot of dumb
It was
shit in that
it was
show.
only like the later seasons that got bad. The first few seasons were great though.
You talking about iCarly again?
No, I'm talking about Sherlock. iCarly's the opposite. The later seasons of iCarly are fantastic. Like 10 out of 10.
I just don't understand how anybody professional can look at showcases like this and be like, ship it. This is what we're gonna do. This is ridiculous. You have the E3 stage, and this is what you're showing. Come on, man.
It's been years.
It's been years.
I feel like Dad's mad right now.
I mean, I just
It's
don't
kinda
understand
ruined
it.
We were having a lot of fun talking about
opportunity.
Monsties.
Pretty sure Dad's just disappointed. These people have had years.
It's crazy too because like the production of it is really good. Like they got a good host. They have good
Ryunosuke and Susato
like
will then
cinematography,
discuss
good
to correct the
transitions.
flaws
This is
in
the
Herlock's
content is like
deductions.
nothing really.
At this point, players
You know,
will be
to
prompted
bring
to
the
search for
energy
clues
back
that
up,
help
I want
identify
to
the
thank
errors
Andy
in
Cortez
the
for
detective's
tweeting
logic
hashtag
and reveal the
Monsties.
true
All right, this is a movement sweeping Twitter right now. We're gonna be part of it.
Look, I follow your lead, Greg. Right? If you want to
Exactly.
climb up that
As players
structure
present
behind you,
new
I'll be right
evidence and
behind you. Dude.
observations, Herlock
I
will amend
appreciate
his
that.
deductions based on the new information. Upon uncovering the truth, Ryunosuke and Herlock enter into a semi-metaphorical, semi-literal dance that brings them to the conclusion of the dance of deduction.
For people in the chat, I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the way they're showing this game. Ace Attorney is awesome. It doesn't need to be any more than 30 seconds in a showcase. Period.
Like, we're talking about a game with no dialogue, with text popping up reading. There's nothing you could show in an Ace Attorney game that's gonna go, holy fuck, now I'm in. Like, nothing that's been shown so far will get anybody who isn't already in Ace Attorney into Ace Attorney.
What if they started calling the detectives detectives?
Oh,
Whoa.
That might get me. That might get me in.
Hey, Mike knows.
It feels too like they're
Mike, you ever play Phoenix Wright?
No, these are the things we talked about with Square Enix of like, I'm not big into these games and you're supposed to sell me as a new person coming into this, and no. I was thinking, is this the guy with the bird wings, Harvey Birdman? Is that guy? That would be cool.
Same guy, Mike. You gotta
Can we get the crossover with that? That'd be in.
Fucking guy.
Representing a
He
guilty
had a game
verdict,
once, yeah.
and one white representing a not guilty verdict.
Objection!
In summation, examination. Take the stand to face off against the
While we're in
jurors.
this entirely
All
too
of
long
them
explanation
provide
of Phoenix
explanations
Wright,
as
should
to
I
why
start
they've
and
reached their
restart?
guilty
Am I doing one of those things?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you look great.
I don't think it's that it looked bad. I just want to make sure that the old.
I just wanted to make you. I wanted to make sure you
Word.
knew that you just looked great. That's all.
Examine each
Ray,
statement
he's trying to lie to
carefully
you?
and
He's
select two
trying to lie to you?
contradicting jurors to call out the flaws in their logic.
What, do you not think I look great, Kevin?
No, the video's like 15 seconds behind. Talk.
Be ready to provide evidence from the court
can't believe we're
record
still on
to help
this.
prove the contradiction in their claims.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, I've stopped
When you
paying
successfully
attention
point out one of these
on two
contradictions among the
separate
jurors,
occasions.
you might just change their minds too.
So, Timothy, I have a
slam
question
of their
about this and
fist,
not making
whose
about
juror
jokes
you
about
persuade
Monsties.
will send a fiery
Do you think
ball
this is
towards the scales
just
above and
proof
literally
that,
tip the
like,
scales of justice
they
in
should
your
have
favor?
stayed out of E3 this year? That clearly they don't have anything, as they're talking
Contradiction
about,
light,
you know,
you
Resident
persuade the
Evil
jury
Village.
to
Man,
help
we are
prove
going to
your
get to
client's
work any day now on some DLC. We hope you like that.
Yeah, I think it's less about don't be at E3 and more just like anytime you're going to show something off, like really think about
exciting
it.
new gameplay
Like I really don't
in the
think
great
enough thought
Ace
is
Attorney
being put into these presentations, like to show off these games, some of which are fantastic games. But it's just like,
diehard fans alike.
think about the best way to
Thanks for
present it. This is not that. And I don't believe any single person,
It already
anybody in the
seems
world
like I
thinks
have
that that's a great
bunch of games
presentation.
to catch up on.
And that's bad.
There are some exciting
Capcom
new
has such
adventures
amazing
and
games
titles
to
to look
show.
forward to.
Show them in a great way.
That's a look at the
It's
new
not hard.
premieres
It's
from
2021.
Capcom, but what about
Everyone
esports?
has HD cameras
Let's
in their
close out
pocket.
today's showcase with a
Everyone
few
can
words
edit
from
videos.
two of the stars
That
of
means that
Capcom
we should
Fighters,
hire the people that
Rob
know what the
TV
hell they're
and
doing to
Vicious.
do this.
They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including
Yeah, I think there's
updates
the
on the
fact that it
Capcom
doesn't
Pro
need to be
Tour,
30 minutes either.
Intel World
Like, this
Open,
could have been a
Street Fighter
10-minute
League,
showcase.
and all the other content on Capcom Fighters. Over to you guys.
E3 has the most organized stage it's ever had to give third parties an actual platform, and like the amount of third parties that just straight up drop the ball, it's ridiculous.
2021. My name is Vicious, commentator for the Capcom Pro Tour as well as Street Fighter League, here with competitive Street Fighter V player and host extraordinaire Hollywood.
I'm sorry,
Rob TV. What's going on, Rob?
Oh my goodness, Vicious.
No, it's no longer right.
Extraordinaire. That just sounds beautiful. It has a ring to it. And
like
I think
this is their last
word
thing
to describe what we have for everyone today.
Did they really say it's their last thing? Oh my God, yeah.
It just feels right, and you feel the electricity in the air.
Nice.
What? That was nasty. And there might be some people at home that don't really know what competitive Street Fighter V is. The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state, country to country, and we try to bring our opponent's life bar from 100 all the way down to 0.
I had a feeling that this was going to be the one that I looked forward to.
That's right, Rob. If you think you're the best in
I had a
your
good
region,
feeling about it.
sign up for Capcom Pro Tour to prove it and become possibly a world champion.
No, but I was looking forward to it.
You weren't excited about COG?
No, I was.
So in this
but I
year's
wasn't really
CPT
looking forward to this because
it's a series of tournaments that have
I don't care for Resident Evil a whole lot.
on the line for each
But here's the
tournament.
thing,
But
this is short.
that money alone, that's
If there were
not
rumors
the big,
about
that's not what's really at stake here. It's about
new
making
Mega
it to
Man,
the
maybe I'd
granddaddy
care,
of them
but-
all.
You want me down?
Capcom
All right.
Cup.
Guys, I gotta go.
Bye.
Bye, Greg.
Remember hashtag Monsties and Tim
Monsties.
watch live because I will work some Monsties into my conversation for you. All right. It'll cheer you up, I swear. All right, bye.
The Capcom Pro Tour 2021 official stage and set, and that's a place that you are very, very familiar with.
That's right. We take all of our events and broadcast it live from this stage, and we check out all of the top competitors from each and every one of these regions.
Damn, that guy's hair
and
is
speaking
awesome.
of, the Capcom Pro Tour has shaped up a lot. 2021, we have 32 events going on in the Capcom Pro Tour, spanning across 19 different territories. So there's so many opportunities for players from around the world to get that ticket into Capcom Cup this season. I'm absolutely excited because, again, that is a big change from what 2020 was
Like
into what we
this
expect
is
for
not
2021.
And Mago is your first
an E3 presentation.
Japan.
This would have been something I would have, if we
Not
weren't
only can
live
you catch the
reacting, I would have
Capcom Pro
tuned out
Tour
of
live
this
on
after
the
the first
Capcom Fighters
5
channel. You
minutes.
can
Like
do
this
so
feels like
on
a
plethora of platforms. We have
E3
it on
stream.
Twitch,
Let's have a Capcom
YouTube,
like
Twitter, and Facebook. Of
slot
course,
where
if
they
you
can just
don't
have
catch it live, you
commercials.
can
I think
also
that's
check
what
out
this
the
is
VODs
more than an actual
for all the
presentation.
competitive study
Like they don't
you
have
need
anything to
to
announce. They
become
don't have
a
anything. I think
successful
substantial to
Street
talk
Fighter
about.
You-
As
you
well as
play
check out
this
some
in
of the
between
community-focused
segments.
content that we have on Capcom
Yes,
Fighters.
exactly.
We have No Neutral, the
Like this is a
official pre-show
transitional thing
of the
into like
Capcom
whatever
Pro
the
Tour.
next thing is
We
for
have
E3.
sets where we take players from around
But
the
the thing is
world
called
and play off
Capcom
an exhibition
Showcase
first
on
to
an
10.
E3
Not only
schedule.
that, actually, we do have Street
That
Fighter
needs
League
to
that's
mean
happening
something,
season
and
after
this should mean
season,
something more than
nonstop
this.
action.
Because you guys are
16
absolutely
different
right.
routes
There's
of this
nothing
battle
wrong.
tournament
Well, there's a lot
series
wrong with
to
this,
see
but there's
who
nothing
walk
wrong
away
with
with the
this
championship
as
and
content.
the
If it's just,
$150,000
Capcom's doing a live stream, like giving
Street Fighter
updates on their
League is something
esports
that you
stuff
don't wanna miss because
and their games
normally
and deeper
we
dives
only
for the
have
people that really just
1v1
want more
content.
footage of
But
Ace
now
Attorney. Sure,
you
but
actually
like,
have your
this
teammates
is
at your
different,
back,
man.
and every decision that you make is not just about you anymore.
Look for more news on Street Fighter League later this year.
It's Oki time. What's gonna happen?
Nice.
He checks it. He checks the movement.
Yeah, I guess if you're at E3 and you're organizing presentations, you want the presentations to mean something.
Let's
for
not
sure.
forget, the Intel World Opening is happening right now. Top players representing 11 regions around the world are competing for their place
Yeah,
in the
I'm
World
and this is what
Finals
this is
at
what
their-
Dawson
next
said, a
month.
30-minute
Be sure to
commercial.
check out the
I'm looking at their
official website for
social
more
feeds. It's like just
information,
1 hour till
including
the start of
current
Capcom
standings
E3
and
Showcase.
broadcast schedule.
Tune into
To commemorate
Capcom
this
E3
event,
Showcase.
everyone who logged in
And
during
then,
this
Yeah, that's
period
not a good look.
will receive
But on
an
June 8th, they
exclusive
tweeted
competitor title
Great
and
Ace Attorney
dojo
Chronicles,
object. You
Monster
do not wanna
Monster
miss
Hunter
this.
Stories 2, Monster Hunter
Highly
Rise, Resident Evil
recommend
Village.
everyone to stay tuned for
And the few
future
surprises
Capcom Pro Tour
is what they were
updates
promoting
on
it
the
as.
Capcom Fighters channel.
And again, we
Like,
had
that's
so
a-
many
that
events
we
so
can't
far.
separate
Started
that.
off with the
Monsty
Japan
was a
region.
surprise.
We've had a
Monsty
couple
was a
more events
surprise.
Monsty was a
going
surprise,
on.
and the fact that
action
instead
does
of
not stop.
having
In
any
fact, we're
details or
gonna be
announcement
continuing
of the
on
Resident
with
Evil
the
Village DLC,
Midwest
they just told us, hey, that
the
thing we all
Capcom
knew
Pro
was
Tour. I know you're
happening,
definitely
it's
excited about
happening.
that.
100%. I mean, of course, your boy is from Ohio. Make sure you guys tune in to see the tournament.
You do not.
I think the
wanna
fucked up
miss
thing too
some
is
of the
now
best
next year when we do
Street Fighter
E3
players
again,
in the
if we see a
world.
Capcom
We're gonna question
Showcase,
all this shit.
Are we gonna question it? Yeah, I think that's the worst. That's the worst thing they could possibly do is make us go, oh, Capcom showing up at E3. Oh, they're having a presentation. Well, last time they literally showed nothing, and so is this one even worth tuning into? Are we gonna get actual announcements?
Has Capcom ever done their own thing before?
They've done Captivate before, and they've done like e-sport-based things that are more usually around Game Awards, not around
That's what I'm talking about.
E3. But they're pretty decent shows normally.
This is the ultimate ultimate Street Fighter V experience. This
But Capcom's big shit usually is at Xbox or PlayStation at E3.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks,
Devil May Cry
guys.
5 was
It's
at
been
Xbox.
a really exciting
Resident Evil's
season so
usually at
far, and I
PlayStation.
can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches. So that's a wrap for Capcom at E3 this year.
So disappointing too,
Let's
because they
recap
got a
what we all
dope
saw.
like setup. They have the
Resident
dope
Evil
logo in the
Village
back.
is
They have
back
like
with the latest
good
installment of the
assets. Like
survival
all
horror
like everything
experience
here
and
works. If they had
RE
actual
as part
stuff
of
to
the
announce,
franchise's
this could have been
25th
cool. This could have been really
anniversary.
dope. This could have
We
established
have
something.
new
for them.
adventures to embark on in the world of Monster Hunter with Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, and Monster Hunter Rise. And don't forget to go back in time with the great Ace
Like, we did
Attorney
not need to react to
Chronicles
this.
to tap into the family
This should have been a
history of
commercial.
Phoenix
This should have
Wright
been
and solve new
like
cases.
one. They should have pared down certain
Finally,
things, but this
don't
should have been
miss
just
out
a
on the
transitional.
esports fun.
All right, cool.
Make
We're
sure
moving
you
on to our
catch
next
the
E3
latest
segment, but
matches with
before that,
Capcom
let
Fighters.
Capcom show
There
you
really
some
is
of
something
some
for
updates
everyone here
on
today.
things they already have
But
out.
don't go anywhere
Or talk
yet.
to you about Capcom
Join the
Cup
conversation on
along
Twitter
with
and make sure
Resident
you check
Evil
out the
and Great Ace
Capcom
Attorney.
virtual booth on the E3 portal
they should not
to watch
have hyped
all
this
these
up.
videos again and more. I'm Rachel Querico, aka Seltzer. Thank you for being part of the Capcom experience at E3 this year.
But there's one more thing. Monsties.
Presenter did a great job.
Yeah, the presentation value was through the roof on this. They really nailed that. I like the look. I like the 30 minutes. I just think the content wasn't there. And, you know, they didn't sell me on certain games where you're supposed to sell new players into the landscape, right? And, you know, unfortunate on that side for me, on my side.
Did they really say surprises?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up, dude.
Remember we talked about that on
That's
Games
so
Daily.
bad.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
Yeah. Nah, man, look, this is, to me, this isn't about E3, and it's not about Game Fest, it's not about any of that shit. It's just about, we're at a point where it's expected that you can put on your own digital showcases. Nintendo's been doing it for years and have only gotten better with directs. PlayStation only getting better with state of plays. You take that down to any of the smaller third party, the bigger third parties, Ubisoft getting it down. Capcom, there's no excuses, man. You have the means.
Where did they say surprise, Tim?
Again, it all comes down to don't have something if you don't got something.
Straight up. Yeah, it was when they were at the last Capcom showcase is when they were first starting about stuff, promoting their E3 showcase, and then as they were promoting the E3 show, when the E3 had all the different logos of the things involved, the different companies and stuff, like Capcom was talking about, it listed the things it was going to have that we saw, and it said with surprises.
I am all for that hashtag.
He's shoving it down our throat. Let's go. He said he would.
In the recent tweets, they like only say what they're gonna have, and they
say
don't include
Monsties
surprises.
left and right.
So I wonder if
Well,
they
that's
had
gonna do
something
it for
planned
our
and they
Capcom
had
Showcase.
and then they had to like drop something.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah, maybe.
It will be fun to have that end of conversation with you, Tim, on like another games cast of like what the expectations are, who did well, who didn't, and what we expect next year. Because there's a lot of negatives here coming out of E3 as we head towards the end here on a lot of these presentations.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, anyways, this has been our reaction to Capcom's thing they just did. I'm Tim. That's the rest of the group. We'll be back for the rest of the stuff. Tomorrow we got Nintendo, very exciting. We got Bandai Namco, and that'll be it for E3 Showcases 2021. Later today, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. PS I Love You, XOXO. We'll be talking about what E3 means for the PlayStation ecosystem. Janet Garcia will be joining Blessing. Very exciting stuff. Stay tuned for that. But if non-games are more your thing, patreon.com/kindoffunny. You can watch the TMNT 2007 in review that we were about to record live for you guys. Till then, love you all. Goodbye.
Bye, Jeff Grubb. Don't forget about GameSpot Showcase.
He said it.